Does that exist? Like a Shrekili / Shrek meme?
I don't know. You should make it.
Untapped market.
Yeah. Go in there right now.
Yeah. I think we're rolling. Okay.
Rolling.
Episode 4 of Metamen. In this Scandinavian podcast, we provide or try to provide Scandinavian outlook on news and politics.
That's right.
So it's been a while since last time.
Yeah, there's been Easter and job interviews and
Yeah.
exams and a lot of stuff to do. So
Useless job interviews.
yeah, that's 4 interviews for a job. It's pretty good.
I was dragged through 4 instances of different forms of interviews, and at the end they just went like, well, you don't live in this city, so we can't really I mean, they could have told me like up front, or
Yeah.
at least taken that into account up front.
Even though you said that you could actually live in that
Yeah,
city.
yeah.
But you don't do it now, so
Like I can fly down tomorrow and
Yeah.
start tomorrow, but no.
So that's what we've been dealing with.
Yeah.
So
Wankers.
but we're back this week. We'll try obviously to keep, this schedule for every couple
Yeah,
of weeks.
oh.
But
Which reminds me, I should probably start the timer
yeah, that's
so that we don't drag on into eternity.
all right.
Yeah, so where were we supposed to start? The medical industry, or the what's it called? Fuck me, drug
Yeah, the drug
drug industry, pharmaceuticals.
Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
Yes. In specifically, this is from the U.S. We do have this sort of thing in Norway as well, though. But it's a case, or it's 2 news articles. You can get both the links probably down below.
Yeah, I'll
After the
link.
video. But this is a pretty interesting statement from a Goldman Sachs analyst that asked the question: is curing patients a sustainable business model? So, is curing patients sustainable business model? So, business and curing patients, I don't think they even should be in the same sentence, but that's how it is.
It's been like that for a long, long time. So.
Yeah, and Goldman Sachs is obviously an investment bank. Probably, I don't know, what their finances, what they the money they give, what it goes to, but I'm pretty sure they have a lot to do with pharmaceutical industry.
I would guess they have a foot in the door for every industry that is well off.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, they specialize in what to invest in. So
Yeah.
So this is a analyst which has just asked that question, and what he finds obviously is the first line of this article is: one-shot cures for diseases are not great for business. More specifically, they're bad for long-term profits.
You don't say.
Yeah, obviously it is, but I mean, just that one-shot cure, that should be our goal, I would say.
Of course. Well, what's his name? The guy who held the patent for like EpiPens or whatever.
I don't know.
He's a walking meme. And he's a kid. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah. It's the Shrekili or something.
yeah, Shrekili,
Yeah.
Shrek.
Shrek.
Somebody. Does that exist? Like a Shrekili / Shrek meme?
I don't know. You should make it.
Untapped market.
Yeah. Go in there right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was. That was an interesting case. I think he's in jail now, though.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He expected to get like 6 months or something,
Yeah.
and then he ended up getting, I don't know, 8. I think it was like 8 years.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Good riddance.
But like,
Fucking guy.
because the thing is, I didn't see the whole thing, the trial,
Mm.
but I saw excerpts from the trial, and I'm willing to bet that if he weren't so smug, if he was just a bit
Yeah.
more humble, he
Yeah.
probably could have gotten away with. Because he's like sitting there grinning.
Yeah, I remember that. His ugly face just it was pretty frustrating to watch.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think
that's like a
you're right.
prime example of this.
Yeah. And I think like this is the guy like in the news article because they've done it the opposite way. Like it's not they're not tweeting about this. They're not giving interviews like stuff like that. And they sent an analyst to look at this.
Mm.
So, you know, the analyst, the only thing he's supposed to look at is the numbers.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have really the same ethical, you know, component into the issue. Like the Shkreli guy, what was it, Martin Shkreli? I think it was.
That one.
But he like he was just a troll.
Yeah.
Like he was just, and he was out to, as you say, it was grinning and stuff, and just he knew that he was pissing people off, and he liked it.
Yeah.
But Goldman Sachs is a bit more smart when they post this. But yeah, the interesting thing though is because we have the other article, which this is actually the examples that he were analyzing was with hepatitis C.
Mm.
And we have this other article here from The Guardian, which showcases that a nonprofit tried to make a treatment for hepatitis C, or cure, and apparently they managed to make a $300 cure that is as effective as an $84,000 alternative.
Yeah. So the $84,000 alternative is probably what is in practice as per now.
Yeah, I would.
In the pharmaceutical business. So I imagine I haven't sort of plowed through this article in detail, but I there's a thing like patents.
Yep.
So I imagine they've developed a different strain or like something that doesn't fall under like not copyright law, but like patent protection laws. Because
that's probably why they are able to keep it at $84,000. Like,
yeah.
What in the fuck?
And what its success rate is something like it's 97%. So 97% of patients were cured after being treated with the combination pill. Yeah, okay, so the pill in question for 12 weeks, which is also the standard. Like 12 weeks is the standard time span for the original treatment. So if you sort of break it down by cost each day, the new alternative amounts to a whopping $3.50 per day, as opposed to, Yeah,
I don't even. What's that? What was it? $84,000. $1,000 a day versus $350 a day. $350.
Yeah, that's pretty drastic.
I mean, who the fuck can afford 1,000? But that's kind of interesting because who the fuck can afford $1,000 a day for medicine? How are they even selling this medicine?
I don't know. Maybe there's some financing.
I think I know how. I think they're selling this to governments and perhaps non-profit organizations that are down there. Because this is specifically hepatitis C. It's mostly in Africa. Yeah. Which they have this problem, and non-profit like charities and stuff send vaccines and stuff down there, and this is probably where they make the money because they obviously don't sell directly to
the consumer.
No, I don't think so.
So they do larger quantity deals with like either government or maybe there's even like some sort of like if they're selling to the consumers directly, there's some sort of financing scheme, so that you basically put 45 of what was it, 48 $84,000 in debt, so that you can write off, like, you
Yeah,
maybe, I don't know.
that would be fucked, but that would be pretty profitable. So they would probably do it because
That's like
profits.
getting 2 master's degrees.
Yeah, for a disease
For-
that you
yeah.
can't really. That's really fucked up. But the whole patent thing. Before we move on, you had a good point about that. Like, maybe because that's the problem, that someone, like, we can't have it be that no matter who the first person is, but the first person or the first group of persons that invent something or find out something about a natural component to medicine or something like that, that they can patent it. Especially when it's lab made, not natural, then they can just instantly patent it if it isn't patent. And people can't do anything with like, even if someone else finds an alternative method, or just finds out that it costs a lot less to make, it doesn't matter. Like, they can't even sell it for, because it's patented.
Well, they can sell it, but then they have to buy a license to produce it, and then it would end up costing the same or more. So
it's pretty useless.
So my, I campaign for sort of exceptions to patent law.
Yep.
Like, specifically for the pharmaceutical industry. Simply because, like, if you need, like, I imagine the pharmaceuticals probably pay taxes.
Yeah.
So even though, if the government or a state is paying for these pharmaceuticals, if they're very well off and pay a lot of tax, and then that's an income stream as well.
Yeah.
So you can't just go abolish all patent law, because that would be incredibly expensive for society in general.
And also, I think one of the purposes of a patent is to, have it proven that kind of what you're doing.
Yeah, probably.
Like, if you couldn't patent it, anyone could do the treatments. Like, you would probably have a lot of people tricking people.
Yeah.
With fake treatments.
Like snake oil merchants.
Yeah, like just basically doing what the pharmaceutical industry is doing, just on smaller scale. But
I mean, hypothetically, I could go down to Africa with, like, sugar pills and say.
Yeah, but what would you make of that? Like,
I don't know.
You think you can make a profit just going around the town?
If the treatment is supposed to span for 12 weeks, then maybe I could just, like, move from town to town.
Yeah.
And like
get out before you
get
fucked. Yeah, maybe.
till the authorities find out.
But yeah. Want to move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
So ease down on the patent law for pharmaceutical companies. That's our conclusion.
At least look into what that would do.
Yeah, at the very least. Because that's not self-evident. Do you want to move on to the fat shaming?
You mean the body positivism?
Yeah,
Not, no one's shaming. No.
No.
Yeah, so I watched. We have a program on NRK, which is the national, television broadcasting network. Thingy in Norway, and it's state funded, by the people.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I watched the program. It's called Trygdekontoret. And this episode was a fatty special.
Yeah.
And there was one of the women there. She was a body positivist, which is basically that you should just be happy about your body, and no matter what your body looks like, it's good because it's your body. And you should be proud.
Yeah.
That's basically, I think, their premise for. And they want to spread, good self-esteem, especially for fat people. Though, at least this girl wanted to do that.
Yeah, but like that's the only type of people I really see advocating this like unconditional body positivist thing.
Yeah.
Because if it's about body positivism, then why aren't we hearing anything from people with like melted skin?
Yep, that's true.
Or
anorexia.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a very good example. Like,
yeah.
How would we react if someone with anorexia was like modeling and writing fucking pieces in newspapers and making videos on social media, just saying that she feels great and she loves her body, and
I'm proud of my thinness.
Because the thing is, I think people have started to use social media as a sort of a place that they can rant, and they sort of use it like a therapy tool.
Yeah.
Like and it's very common now to just, you should say what you mean. That's your opinion matters. And
but that's the thing, because at that level, like, it stops becoming about your opinion and starts, because I fully believe that there's a bit of narcissism baked into this.
Yeah.
Like, so with this program that we just watched, Trygdekontoret, or directly translated, the welfare office, or social service office.
Yeah.
There's a clip of the sort of fat pride woman dancing or doing like a burlesque show, whilst eating cake. Which is like it's like a performance art. It's
sure.
It's performance art.
Yeah.
It's
but it's I think she doesn't she's not separating, like, because it's okay if she wants to be fat.
Well, yeah.
And
it's your life.
Is happy with it, that's fine. If you want to do burlesque and eat cake, that's fine. But don't put that up as an ideal for other people. That's like, it's so obviously not healthy.
Obviously.
Everyone knows that it's not healthy to be fat. It's just not. And it's not healthy to be anorectic.
No.
Because your body needs certain things and is supposed to be a certain way. Now, it's not like, everyone needs to look like a fucking model, but, it's a big difference between 50 kilos of excessive fat and, 10. It's a big difference. So, and, in this program as well, she met like a
master's degrry student. Or
I don't actually know what that's
called. It was like a clinical nutrition, I think.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, that's right. And she just says straight out, like, it's not, it's not okay to be fat.
It turns out that, obesity has a buttload of associated diseases. So maybe let's not advocate being fat. It's just so that it's out there.
Yeah.
But I feel like this because there was recently a debate between like an influencer, well, two influencers, whatever the fuck that means. One is like this makeup and lifestyle blogger here in Norway, and the second is sort of like the opposition, the feminazi,
social justice warrior type.
Yeah. And the blogger is getting shit for like having built a business around not like eating stacks of food for lunch and like advocating slim fit clothes and all that stuff. But in the meantime, like, the opposition has contact info in her Instagram bio. So I'm kind of led to believe that, you know, both parties are building a business based off of their opinion.
Yeah, and their body kind of as well.
Yeah. So it's like, well, I don't think, because my take is this: if you want to blog about, you know, the latest dress you bought at H&M or whatever, fine. That's boring as hell, though.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you, I mean, different strokes.
Yeah.
But like, don't put the responsibility of like mental health on those individuals, because like at the end of the day, it's like, if you're thin because you don't eat pizza for breakfast every day. It like it's kind of like your own fault if you're fat, but that doesn't mean, you know, that it's easy to lose weight necessarily.
No, but yeah, I think that's a good point, because like in this in Trygdekontoret, this video, she talks a little bit about, she doesn't talk much about, you know, her childhood or something or anything like that, but you know, you have to think about where they got this, like where it started, because obviously you didn't start out with, you know, being double the size you should be.
No.
So, you know, what happened, and I feel a lot of the people look back at like their childhood, and for instance, a lot of people that are fat and that were fat in their childhood were, you know, bullied. And I'm not saying that it's not a reason why, but I don't feel you can use it as justification. If you see that that's maybe that has made you a different person, that you were bullied, I think like you should understand that it's like a protection mechanism, like it's a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
And
you don't really need that much.
Because because they eat when they're sad, and they eat when they're happy. Like it becomes an addiction.
Yeah.
It's not very healthy.
I think you're creating, at one point, you're creating mental loops for yourself.
Yeah.
Because like deep down, you know that the secret to losing weight, or gaining weight for that matter, is a diet plan.
Yeah.
And sticking to it. And it's like, you know, I've never had to lose weight, so I can only take other people's word for it. But you know, it's tough. Probably.
Yeah, I haven't either, but yeah, the reason because a friend of mine had a very good point, because I was kind of being not very considerate.
Yeah. On this particular topic.
Yeah, and I knew it as well, but I just couldn't relate, because I never have had to do that. You know, lose weight. But he told me that is, you know, I should think about it just as another addiction. Because I've been addicted to stuff like well, the cigarette equivalent in Norway, which is snus.
Yeah.
And that's hard as fuck to quit with, even though you know that you're supposed, like, you know that it's just don't put it in your mouth.
Like I'm doing now.
Like you're doing as I'm saying it. But, you know, it's still difficult, because you've made your body, you know, it's used to getting this sort of input, and then it gives you a dopamine output from your brain. And it's the same thing that goes for all addictions, like like nicotine and, you know, stuff like that. It's so used to it that I think, like, actually you get like you get insane cravings for food when you're trying to
I know.
quit.
I've tried to quit before, so
yeah. And so maybe, because we talked about this before, but maybe, you know, because body positivism is about having good
I think I see where you're going with this.
Okay.
Because were you about to say that Well, no, because they're not trying to lose. Forget it. Like, because my mind sort of went. Maybe they're using the attention from social media to compensate for, but then they're not trying to lose
No,
weight. They're advocating it. So.
Yeah, but I think it's about your the image of yourself, like yeah, and this is kind of like it's two sides of the same coin. Like, okay, you need a good picture of yourself and you need to love yourself in order to actually be motivated and have the willpower that it takes to go down in weight.
Yeah.
And at the other side, if you actually go down in weight, you will feel better about yourself. Like 99% sure about that. Maybe you want to weigh 200 kilos and you think that's hot as fuck. I think most people don't.
Yeah, no.
But, it's sort of like body positivism starts on that side, and you can start the other side, but then, you have to do both, kind of. You can't. Body positivism seems to build up your, the perception of yourself into a good one, but then it just stops there, and it makes that an ideal.
Yeah.
And that's very dangerous for... Just think about people that are not comfortable with their body and they're thinking about going down, losing weight, and they check different videos online and they see someone like this.
Yeah.
Which way do you think they will go? Do you think they will actually, push hard to go down weight or to lose weight, or it's very appealing to use this as an excuse to just become fat and just give up, basically.
Because it's the same thing as with the extremism, isn't it? Or like polarized parties, because it's it's on the same level as with all this sort of social justice type of thing, that for a fact that, let's say you're trying to break into a career or get a job, this or that, but that there are more things that you can do, like micro decisions, such as spending an hour extra on curricular work or stuff like that, as opposed to trying to go out and change like the social economic framework that you find yourself in.
Yeah,
it's like
true.
It's like, like everybody understands that it's way more realistic that you'll come closer to your end goal if you do things the hard way.
Yeah,
but it's more appealing.
Yeah, it's very and when you're, because that's the the picture of yourself. If you're looking to pull that up, it's probably pretty low, and then you don't really, you take the easy way.
Yeah,
you take the easy way, and that's what I think she is.
But maybe their intention is good. So to add to what you said, like it's a chicken or the egg thing, because if you don't respect yourself, then you'll never start, and if you won't get anywhere beyond sort of the hysteria if you don't actually do something. So it's a chicken or the egg thing. Like, where do you start? Do you start with respecting yourself, or do you start with actually putting in the work?
Yeah, I think it's a mix, but the point was just you can't just do one of them. That's because what also a very important thing that this master student mentioned is, yes, psychological health is important, but there is actually a thing that is called physical health.
Yeah, we can't just
you like. Yeah, it's a lot of focus on the mental game these days. It's it's much more open to talk about mental problems, but we can't forget that we still have a physical health to.
Yeah, and they interplay.
Yeah, definitely.
If you don't work out, then you won't have as effective study sessions, for instance, as those. Like, I've experimented with that myself, like not working out and working out 3 times a day, like religious, not 3 times a day, 3 times a week, religiously for like a month,
Yeah.
and like you're able to sit for much longer. Like, do you drink water? Like, that sounds like a trivial thing, but like, drink water. Like,
Yeah, it's yeah, they are kind of interconnected there.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna move on to the last.
Yeah, we're actually coming up on 30 minutes.
Yeah, but
So I don't know how much more time we've got for this particular.
we can go through it fast. 5
Okay.
minutes, and we probably do some clipping.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just we like technology, as you probably know after listening to our other podcasts, if you have. But yeah, it's very interesting, field, and there's a lot of movement there these days, as it has been for a long time. But this is about autonomous technology. And we have 2 cases, and the first one is the self-driving car from Uber that killed a woman in Arizona, US. And the other one, which is kind of connected, is about the Robo Bees. So if anyone has watched the series, I think I mentioned it before on here, but it's Black Mirror, and yeah, everyone should probably go watch that. But in the last episode of season 3, I'm pretty sure, there is utopia where they have these autonomous bees that are, artificially pollinating, and it goes horribly wrong. So I kind of want to talk about how these 2 things can be used for good, and how they probably will not end up being used for that, and probably will, just be used for terrible things. So yeah, the first is the self-driving car. I mean,
We had that incident with the woman getting hit in Arizona
yeah,
by Uber, was it?
yeah, it was Uber. And there was actually a guy sitting inside the car as well, which is kind of interesting.
A woman, actually.
Inside?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or it's a woman in the video, at least.
Yeah, that gets hit.
No, in the car as well.
Oh, is it?
Oh, is it a guy? Or maybe it is a guy. Oh, hang on. I want to navigate this very carefully.
Is it a guy? It's a person, at least, in the car.
And
Yeah, it doesn't it doesn't really matter though, but yeah,
yeah,
it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah,
I think it's a woman.
I think I was pretty sure it was a dude, but I don't know now. But okay, let's so it is a person inside, and that's kind of important because it was just, just a car. You wouldn't know if a person could do it better. And he was watching the road, and he couldn't see her. So he probably wouldn't have been able to do anything about it, because she was just walking into the road with like wearing black in pitch darkness. So
yeah.
I don't know how these sensors are working, but I don't know. Like, it seems kind of weird that they didn't pick up on her, but she came from the side. So that's, I think.
Well, we don't know if the brakes kicked in at all.
No, they didn't. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure I read maybe not in this article, but I read it on Reddit. I viewed a lot of threads about this case, because there was a different kind of consensus on different kind of threads, but some people were actually outraged, like, oh my god, these self-driving cars, they're gonna kill everyone, we're not safe, and I mean, it's kind of
how long has this project been? Because this is a pilot project, right?
yeah.
How long has it been in operation? This thing.
I don't know, but like Tesla started at least like 2-3 years ago with testing it,
Okay.
like, out in the open. I don't know how long it's been in the laboratory, but yeah, it's kind of interesting that people are outraged, because I mean, have you taken a look at the statistic of how many we kill by driving cars ourselves?
We kill a lot.
It's
of
not.
people.
It's very the numbers are not pleasant, and I think just inevitably, self-driving cars are gonna be good for the regular human being,
Yeah.
but there is, again, as we've seen with a lot of other technology, there is a big case to be made for manipulation of this technology, through hacking, for instance. I
Yeah.
mean, how secure are these? They're navigating using GPS, and they're connected. So I mean, if you have a very important person sitting in a car and you know which car this is, and you can just fucking hack it and smash him into a wall, like, yeah, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
And the technology would be ruined, so you would probably not be able to tell what happened.
Yeah. It's to sort of make like a fundamental argument here. When smartphones came around, there's a TED talk by a guy called I don't know, but he goes into detail about like all the stuff that he can get from your smartphone by simply being tapped into the same network.
Yeah.
And the core issue is that the moment we got smartphones, we inherited the problems that comes with computers as well. So this is very much the same thing, because you're building the infrastructure for someone to break shit with.
Yeah.
But as far as accidents go,
yeah,
we just have to let the project run, and then see after the agreed upon time span for which the project is supposed to run. When that's over, let's compare statistical outcome, because it is theoretically possible that the first day of the project someone gets hit by an autonomous car, and then no one gets hit for the remaining time of the project.
Yeah.
So we actually have to let it run, even though it's kind of I mean, nobody's pro death. Nobody's pro death in traffic.
No, obviously, but
So
but I am pro if this kills 100 people versus the millions that die in traffic every year. But I think one important point is we don't like when there's something that we don't have control over.
Yeah.
Like, we know when we're driving the car, we can say, yeah, he's a fucking idiot. He watched his phone. That's why this happened.
Yeah.
But I think it's something people are a little bit scared when it's not in their control.
And you're unable to, like, the common, your average Joe is unable to diagnose what went wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they get scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of like, we can go hop over to the Robo Beast just very shortly.
Yeah.
It's kind of in the same area, because, like, obviously, the bee population is dying out pretty rapidly.
Yeah, multiple species.
Yeah, and so they're starting to look at alternative methods. So this is an artificial pollinator, which there is a guy, I think, in conjunction with a university in the US, but I think he's from Japan. Who is?
Of course he is.
Yeah, it's not a surprise, but he's developing this, and in the U.S., Walmart has actually patented this
technology.
Yeah, so it kinda, when a big company does something like that, and they have the money to fund it, it's probably gonna be a reality.
Yeah.
If they really want it. The problem, though, is kind of the same as with like these small drones are gonna end up as killer drones. Like, come on.
But these aren't nano drones yet.
No,
right?
no.
They're just small scale drones.
So you can see them.
Yeah.
But
just
they might imagine.
Yeah.
If it becomes even smaller, and then, I mean, you can just, like, we've seen the chemical attack in Britain recently. I mean, you can just do that from the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Like, and you can just fly a little bee and just sting the person with a toxic, chemical.
Yeah.
And just fly it away. And no one knows what happens, and like, what the fuck? The potential to do harm is so big.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
through the
happens
roof.
in Black Mirror. They all get hacked, and they get sent after, people, like government officials and stuff, and they just fucking,
They,
there's
like,
like
fly
a
into the
million
air.
bees that fly into the person. Just fucking, he just dies basically.
Because I'm thinking chemical warfare, like on the top of my head, because I think this we still probably have a way to go in terms of like developing nano drones that can like get into your body through your air canal or something. But but like it's the same core issue, which is you're building the infrastructure for giving up control, basically.
Yeah, and like what if a private company makes these and has control over these? Like, how can we know we can't trust them? So how do we give them that power? Like, just for instance, the oil companies.
Yeah.
How many times have they fucked up? Like, they fuck up all the time.
Yeah.
People are tired of hearing about it, but this is a kind of different, like, when you can get control over essentially a robot army of bees. I mean, come on, and yeah, if it's chemical, warfare, they're gonna be very effective.
Yeah,
honestly.
probably.
But
Motherfuckers.
I think we're pretty good on time now.
Yeah, we're coming up. We're past the 30-minute mark.
Yeah.
But hey, great articles.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so we'll try and keep up the same
2-week cycle.
same 2-week cycle. Okay,